Namaskar. Yesterday I was reading a story where the mention of Kalpraksh was there. Kalptaru, Kalpvriksh. And I was wondering the brilliance of the person who came up with this idea of the Kalpvriksh and also resolution of all desires and all ideas, dreams, once we sit under the Kalpvriksh. A very versatile imagination. But it is not so. It doesn't happen like this. We all are aware. And if it was so, in its literal sense, then there would have been no misery, no troubles anywhere in this world, and there would have been a war, a world war for the Kalpvriksh, for owning the Kalpvriksh. So certainly the description that I read, the story that I read, isn't right, isn't as easy as it sounds. Let's understand it this way. When we come back after a long journey on foot, say 20, 30 kilometers, and the first thing we do is we come and sit down. If possible, tell somebody to make a hot cup of tea or coffee or cocoa or whatever. If somebody is not available, just too bad, then we ourselves do it. Thereafter, we change the clothes. Then rather we take off our clothes, shoes, clothes, clean our body, then wear another clothes, nourish the body with necessary fluids and diets, and thereafter go and sleep. Now, this process of sleeping actually means death of the traveler. The traveler who has traveled all that distance, the experiencer who has experienced all the vagaries of that journey, that person who has found the need, that exhausted traveler who has found the need to nourish the body, regain strength, regain energy. That person, he dies. And only when he dies does he get up next morning refreshed. So this, in totality, what it means is that the idea of Kalpvriksh is not to just go and sit there and do nothing. No. It is to remove all previous concepts, ideas, fears, what do you call, threats, threat perceptions, everything, all concepts all ideas, all doings and all non-doings in the form of clothes, they have to be dropped. Thereafter, for all the residuals, a holy dip in the river Ganga. Only then, sitting under a kalp vriksh, and thereafter, once you are clear of all the all the load that you've been carrying so far, once that is done, every tree is a kalp vriksh. This, many of our enlightened people, this they used to celebrate or prepare themselves by doing a pinddan of their own selves while living. That is, carrying out their own last rites, which signifies the death of the old one, the death of the person who had been carrying loads and loads of ideas, concepts, doings, that dies at this very moment when these last rites are conducted. And from there, the one who is eligible to conduct the search, sorry, to sit under the kalp vriksh, he is born. So therefore, at this stage, I recall a story by Papaji, wherein somebody was going with a big log of wood on his head, and he was told to replace it with 10 kgs of iron. That would fetch him a better price. So now he had 10 kgs of wood and 10 kgs of iron. He went ahead. Somebody else suggested to him to have, instead of iron, to have 10 kgs of copper. So now he had 10 kgs wood, 10 kg iron and 10 kg copper. And so he had, by the time he could even reach halfway, he had around 40-50 kgs on his head. So all that load has to be rejected before we go and sit under the kalp vriksh. And sitting under kalp vriksh should be the decision made very deliberately, because as we see on a jumping board in the swimming pool, once a person reaches this point and there is a line of others behind, he cannot go back. He has to take a plunge. He has to jump. There will be no option left. We have to cut off all the strings to all attachments which are perceivable or which are not perceivable. Everything. Only then this kalp vriksh would be of use. Otherwise, it is just an invention of the lazy ones, the cunning ones. All cunningness and all laziness has to be left before actually going and sitting under the kalp vriksh. And such a person, wherever he sits, that vriksh is the kalp vriksh. Thank you.